Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Day we hustle, but the night we
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestle Theory, episode 10. Man, I'm so hyped right now, brother. How are you doing today? I got my boy Devin Uso in the building, primed up, ready to go.
Oh no, you know we good. We always good. We good. We healthy, and we ready for another week of pro wrestling.
Yeah, man, so much to get into.
Obviously, a lot of waves are being tied. So we're gonna talk about a few things, but I say we just jump into it. Should we talk about a potential Jade Cargill coming to WWE?
Yeah, definitely. So for anyone who hasn't heard of the news, Jade Cargill is officially done with AEW as far as her contract obligations. There was reports that Tony Khan was trying to work out a new deal with her, but new reports that came out this morning as of Sunday, of course, you guys will see this Wednesday, but that Jade Cargill is definitely WWE bound and actually is on her way to Performance Center this week. Devin Uso, how do you feel about Jade Cargill leaving AEW, and where would you book her at? Like, which show?
So believe it or not, I do think she's going to go to NXT, especially because they're going to need a new, flagship champion. Because, they haven't had one since Mandy. It's been a while since Mandy's been with WWE. So I think it's time for a new, face of the women's division down there. And honestly, it's perfect timing, too, because you have someone like Becky Lynch as the NXT champion. So
I didn't think of that. Yeah,
NXT. Yeah, you have Jade go to NXT and beat Becky for the title. That'll already kind of like put her face on the map of beating Becky Lynch. Period.
Bro, you're cooking like that.
I'm just saying. I think that would make the most sense, and
it does.
Obviously, we would love to see how she would do against some of our other powerhouse women because Jade is just a specimen, bro. Putting someone like her against Rhea or Bianca in the future would be crazy.
Bro, I can't wait, man. Those would be some great matches. And that's just two off the head. There's still some great, I can't wait for Jade versus Charlotte, man. That's going to be a banger of a match. Her versus Becky, of course, like you mentioned. Bailey, Io, and then Kairi Sane when she returns. There's so many. I'm excited for Jade, honestly. First, it surprised me. Just my reading it, my reaction. I saw Jade leaving. I'm like, nah, man. AEW put in way too much money, time, in her, they had Shaq endorse her when her first match, and had her on this long streak
too.
Bow Wow, yeah, had all these, great matches. Well, I won't say great match, but at least that great streak that she had on. And then to only lose to one person, which is Chris Statlander, she put her over, twice, and now she's on the way out. And honestly, though, it sucks a little, just as far as the AEW fan, because I'm like, damn, I really kind of wanted to see Jade go in there against Jamie Hayter. I wanted to see her win the women's title. I wanted to see her even feud with Saraya, Tony Storm. But the WWE side of me is super excited even more because NXT, let's say, we go with your scenario. She go there, she feuds with Becky. That's automatic. She's gonna be up there. And let's say if they actually pull the trigger and push her,
she already is a star, but she's gonna be even a bigger star.
Facts, man. It's gonna be crazy. And you mentioned, they haven't had a real women's champion really hold it down memorable in a while, maybe since Mandy. Now Becky, of course, Becky is now too. And no disrespect to Tiffany Stratton, we love you over here, but this would be a great addition.
She only lost because she's going to the Insiders.
I'd hope so. Triple H. Triple H, did you read my message? Bro, Devin is cooking with that man. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what she does with that, man. And hopefully Tiffany does get called up to the main roster and we can get that going. Because if Tiffany's on SmackDown, I'm atting Triple H, and bro, you can do it too if you want, every single week. Insiders.
Let him know. Make it a thing.
Make it
happen.
Yes. Make it a thing, man.
I think it'll be a bigger platform for Jade for sure. having her come to NXT, because on AEW, I always felt like the women's division wasn't held to a bigger scale. Like, I think the biggest the women's division ever been was when Britt Baker was champ. Like, that was when she was super over, and I think the women's division had something. But also, Jade kind of always felt isolated from the women's division. It was kind of like you had the women's world championship stuff going on. You had Britt Baker, you had Thunder Rosa, you had all them competing, and then Jade was out here just squashing people for the TNT championship.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, nobody was messing with her, so she had her own little realm of the women's division, and even then, like, she was over, but like it wasn't really pushed like that, it wasn't really throwing her face in. I just don't really think AEW has been running like the best women's division
clearly
so far.
no.
But going to WWE, they have a great women's division, the best in the world, honestly.
They do.
So the combos of matchups she can have is going to be crazy. So
and even like, I know we were speaking a little bit in the future, we were saying like, Bianca, Charlotte, Rhea, but even when she gets to NXT, there's still some really great talent she could work with that's not so big name, like Akora Jade, Roxanne Perez. She had a great match with Blair Davenport. I could see them being a good match, even though they're both heels, but still, great match before she gets in there with Becky.
Ivy
Niles, yeah, another great one, man. Oh, even Tiffany Stratton. I mean, if she doesn't go to the main roster right away, getting there, have a match with Jade, I mean, it'll be freaking crazy. So ceiling's high as hell for Jade going to WWE. If all the rumors are true, which I do believe, because it seems like there's some solid people that's been saying it, that's in the wrestling community. But another person that may be on the outs, which doesn't surprise me, we transition to the next person. Ricky Starks is possibly WWE bound too, with his contract coming up. He's been inserted and kind of like left on the back burner. Let's think about his old AEW run. Like, there's times, memorable feuds he had with Darby Allin. He had something going on, of course, with Punk, before all that happened. The strap match with Bryan Danielson was great. But it's crazy because I always felt that Ricky Starks had like...
he had a rivalry with MJF too. He was one of MJF's first opponents.
Yeah, I was gonna say, MJF, and he also was FTW champion too. Had a good match with Brian Cage, but like, what I was gonna say was, I always felt like he could be like more, and I always felt like AEW wasn't using him enough. So seeing him possibly entertain and possibly on the way to WWE doesn't surprise me. Plus, Cody's his boy, so it's like, he could be closer with Cody. Not saying he's gonna go to the main roster right away, but at least being in the same company. And he knows that his ceiling is a lot higher, because we could use some extra new guys, some freshness, some guys that are really good on the mic other than LA Knight or Miz. So I'm excited for Ricky Starks. How about you, brother?
Oh, yeah. Ricky Starks he's got this charisma that he's going to bring with him that's just natural. You can't really rub off. And I think that's going to be great for WWE. I think he'll go far. I definitely think he'll be a hit on NXT, maybe not the flag, because right now Carmelo Hayes is running the show.
Yeah.
But I think that would be some great matches. I hope he keeps his finisher. I actually like Rochambeau. It's funny you talk about the FTW title, because I'm like, Team Taz was one of my favorite AEW factions, and I could not believe they broke it up.
Bro. That shit's crazy. I think about Team Taz because, like, I remember when Brian Cage first debuted and, won that Joker that Joker Casino Battle Royal thing they were doing. And then Taz was with them and being his manager. Then Ricky Stark not too long after. Hook was coming along. I mean, the group, I think they had something there, but then they let Taz be a commentator most of the time and just left Brian and Ricky just basically fend for themselves and Hook. But man, it always just felt like they were kind of just not pushing Ricky. But I guess, when you have a roster full of talent that they do, it's hard for you to stand out, and that's always been one of AEW's problems.
But that was always the AEW issue. They had too many like WWE guys, so it was hard to push that group, because the group had they had the potential to do it. And it was like the implosion of the group made zero sense, because it made sense when they all wanted to stiff Brian, right? They took the title off Brian, they put it on Ricky. But then when they had Hook take the title off Ricky, him and Hook were still cool, whatever. They shook hands. You took my belt. You got me. Good shit. But then Hobbs just comes out and beats the shit out of Ricky, and it was like, why? And then and then you got Taz on commentary. That's it. Team Taz is done. Damn, bro, what did Ricky do?
How real?
Like, man just got hoed.
And man, how did I even forget about Powerhouse Hobb too? When I remember when he actually turned, because remember when he was doing those tag matches with Moxley for a little, And then I know he just
Oh
turned
yeah,
to
when he
join
was
Team Taz.
Willpower.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they're calling
Powerhouse Hobbs. Or
no, yeah, he was.
Powerhouse.
He was Will Hobbs, and they said he had willpower. Yeah. I thought that was actually I could tell like from one of his matches, like, wow, this guy has potential. And AEW actually saw that and jumped on it and made him a star. So that was really good because now he has character, he's threatening, he really leaned into the heel thing. And it was cool how he can go from willpower to powerhouse. I like that.
Yeah, I hope they do more with him too. I like that they kind of got, I guess, him and Miro are doing some stuff now. So I hope they can continue that because Powerhouse Hobbs, man, I always felt him and Ricky Starks were going to be, well, it was, mine was Scorpio Sky, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs were going to be like the future. And sorry, there was one person in there. I think Jungle Boy at the time. Those were my guys that I thought were going to be like the future that's going to carry the company after, of course, MJF, Darby Allin, what's his name, Guevara, and there was another
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, Guevara. There was someone else that considered the pillar. You know, the four pillars.
Darby
I guess it was Jungle Boy. Actually, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Jungle Boy, Darby, Sammy, and MJF.
Yep.
I actually thought on like originally when AEW like first started, I actually thought Sammy Guevara was going to be something.
Me too.
He definitely has lived up to it. I think I'm glad to say that like one of my picks worked out. You know, because I didn't know anybody from a can of paint outside of the ex WWE guys, and then obviously like Kenny Omega and them. I knew them. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's funny. I remember that first episode.
I got high on the Acclaim pretty early too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I didn't know Anthony Bowen too much, but like I knew Max Caster just grinding the indies and seeing him in like he was doing a lot of stuff with Dark before they officially signed and shit. I think we talked a little bit about it, you know, but
yeah, I was actually watching their Dark tag matches. Like that's how much I like the Acclaim.
Yeah, like,
technically they weren't the Acclaim for their first like 2 or 3 matches, and they kind of just were like, "Yo, this is a thing and it fucking works. Let's use it." And then boom, the Acclaim is a thing, and that's why I've been a big Acclaim fan since the beginning of AEW, and since they've been going up until like where they're at right now. And I don't feel like they've gotten stale or old at all.
Facts, and it's crazy. You know, I remember putting when they first made their TV debut, there's a picture I was watching on TV, and I posted on my Instagram, you know, just like, you know, shout out to the Acclaim and Max Caster and tagged him in and shit. Because it's cool when you see people from the indies that like you've seen grinding and you see some potential actually make it. It's like, oh man, it's a great fucking feeling, and you're just hoping the best for them and stuff. But yeah, Ricky, I feel back to with Ricky, I think he's probably already met his ceiling, as unfortunate as that seems, because like I feel the guy could really be the next world champion in AEW if they really wanted to, but I guess maybe he's reached the ceiling as far as what they're going to do with him. If they're going to keep riding, you know, how long they want to do the MJF thing, and you know, Collision doesn't really have a world title and all this other stuff, so it makes sense.
I was going to say, outside of Collision not having the world title, I actually do think they're still pushing him, because I mean, him and I was about to call him Big Cass. Him and Big John Morrissey actually just
Big
beat,
Bill. I think that's what they call him, right?
Yeah, Big Bill. They
Bill,
just beat Claudio and Daniel Bryan clean on this last episode of Collision. So, clearly they have confidence in the duo. I would like Big Bill to come back to WWE as well.
Me too, man. I would love for him and Enzo to come back.
Oh yeah,
they were so entertaining.
That would be even better if him and Enzo came back together. That would be the best storyline. And then they could have like, remember that video where Miz is like cussing out Enzo, bro, about he doesn't listen, he has so much potential. Yep. I think that'd be so cool that Enzo and Cass come back. And, you know, you got Enzo coming back. You got now Cass, who's like cut in shape, and they start leaning into the storyline of like, you know, you were right. We didn't listen. We wasted our potential. And we got fucking fired. And now we're back, and we're not taking any. Like we're not dropping the second chance, and they're just laying motherfuckers out and trying to win titles.
I love it, man. I love it. And Enzo is one of the best on the mic too. So, man, I can imagine that. Man. Yeah, you know, I can imagine that. I hope that happens, man. I really do, because they deserve it. Because they both have really, even though they're still cool, but they went their separate ways, and they're both flourishing in different ways. Enzo and MLW in New Japan, Big Bill in AEW, and then Morrissey when he was in Impact. So. Hopefully, I really do. You know, it's actually it's pretty bright. The future is bright in the world of wrestling, and people possibly switching shows or switching teams. It's real exciting. But let's keep that excitement going on.
Speaking of returns,
and excitement, Nia Jax is back, bro. I'll give that pause for a second because I know the internet fans and wrestling community, some don't really like Nia Jax at all. How do you feel about her return?
Oh, really? I actually like the return. I actually always liked Nia Jax. I always felt like they just didn't know how to book her properly because, I mean,
me too.
I get it. She's a big woman, but it was like all the ways they were pushing Dewdrop about how she was being a powerhouse. That's how they should have been booking Nia. And I'm glad she's back, especially because we were just talking about with Raquel and Rhea going back and forth. It was like, there's not really a lot of powerhouses on the roster that can hang with them. So now you got Nia, and she can hang with them as far as being powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it right now. I don't think she's gonna have the career those two are gonna have, but I do think she is a former women's champion though.
Yeah,
all women's champion to be exact.
We're all women's champion, tag champ. Yep.
I think it'll be a good feud. I don't think she's gonna take the belt, but I think it'll be a good feud.
Yeah, 100%. And she shouldn't take the belt because Nia's been gone. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Nia's been gone for probably about a year. I know she made that surprise return at the Royal Rumble, but as far as like in ring full time, it's been about a year. And this is going to be the chance for wrestling fans to see, like, has Nia really improved since? Because a lot of people talk shit on the internet. Like, I always like Nia Jax, like, just like you, bro. Like, I just felt she was probably either just miscast. I was behind her when she won the women's champion from Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania when they had that whole bullying.
Oh no, I was
storyline.
At the time.
You were? That's fucked up. She was getting bullied, bro.
Bro,
oh, that's mean. But I was behind it.
What's crazy about that though is the reason I really didn't see the return coming is I actually follow Nia Jax on Instagram. Like, I don't know why, but I do. Like, because there's not a lot of wrestlers I follow. I follow maybe a quarter of like the roster, not even.
Yeah.
And so I follow Nia, and
she's funny.
She could still be. She is, and she'll still be doing videos with other like women superstars, like little TikToks and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can tell she still hangs around them, but like it didn't really show like she had a passion to wrestle again.
Yeah.
So I did not see her coming back, and then she came back, and I was like, oh well, hey, glad to see you're back. We missed you.
Facts. And shout out to her too because she came back. She looks incredible. Like, she's lost a lot of weight. She's put on some muscle too, so she got some tone like in her arms. And then, like you, I also follow her Instagram. She's a beautiful woman, so anyway, but she's a great wrestler too, and she's funny as hell.
Yeah, but for the fans to know, because I don't.
Yeah, I mean, but she's funny. She would always make videos with either Mojo Rawley, Charlotte. I've seen her do videos with a bunch of other people.
Shayna. I was like, she does
Shayna. Yeah, she loves Shayna. Yeah, they were a good little tag team.
Shayna's in the back of like every women's superstar's TikTok. I swear to God, bro. Like, you'll see all the TikToks of them dancing and whatever, and you just seen it, just Shayna just deadpan in the fucking background, just like in every like TikTok. It's so funny why she's randomly there.
Yeah, Shayna, man, she's hilarious because she doesn't even have to try. Like, she's probably giving her general reaction, like, "The fuck y'all dancing so much for?" But it just works. But I'm excited.
How cool she is, like backstage with all the women's roster. Like, she's actually like super cool with all of them.
And speaking of Shayna, there was actually a picture. I should have talked about it last week, but slipped my mind till just now. We say Shayna is going around that she had someone, I can't remember who it is, so forgive me, internet people, but she had him in like some no, they're just down on the floor, and she had her deck of cards, because she's Queen of Spades, and she was throwing them on it, but it was the way the camera caught it, like, it was like really cool. And then Bailey like commented on it and was like, Shane need to bring back the biker shorts, and then that shit went like viral. Everyone started posting it like, Shane in the biker shorts, Shane in the biker shorts. Like, taking away from the actual cool image of like Shayna posting that and showing it. Like, it was just hilarious, man.
I'll look that up. That sounds pretty funny.
Yeah, I can see the video or the picture, and maybe we put it in the video. But I am excited though about Nia. I definitely don't think she's gonna win. Shouldn't win the world champion just yet. Maybe one day, somewhere down the line, but not anytime soon. Rhea does need competition because Kairi Sane, where are you at? I know you're coming in November, they say, but damn, please hurry up.
Yeah, I was about to bring her up too. Yeah, we waiting on you.
For real, like, we're waiting on you. But I'm excited though, because I think when she does come back, it's going to be that big of a deal, And I heard they're supposed to be doing something. I know we mentioned a little bit about AOP and Carlito, so I heard Carlito's supposed to be doing something in NXT really soon. We'll see.
The apples of pain.
I know the apples of pain. Yeah, because like there's reports going out like that the W's had people under contract for like a while, but they just haven't debuted him. Like apparently Nia's been under contract for like a month now, they said from some reports, but just they finally decided to bring her out. Same with AOP, and they haven't brought him just yet, but they've been under contract.
I mean,
for a
that
while.
makes sense because I mean the way they produce
Carlito.
the shows, it's like I mean, it's like they plan stuff months in advance. So, I mean, it's kind of like we got to find where we can fit you in. What could we cut out? What could we do? And it's definitely doable, obviously, because there's a lot of like fluff matches that just happen on weekly TV, you know?
Yeah.
Because it'll be randomly like, oh, hey, what do we throw here? Oh, let's just have so-and-so squash somebody. So we'll just bring out Akira Tozawa. And
I was literally thinking about Akira Tozawa.
Oh yeah, well,
I was literally thinking about him
to get squashed by the Miz that was last week though.
Yeah, last week, and then the week before that, Gunther was. Did you see that video when Gunther was walking backstage about to make his entrance, and Akira Tozawa just like happened to walk there, and he said, and he like walked away like the other direction. And, like you can see in Gunther's face, he's trying to keep it straight, but you could tell he wanted to crack a smile and laugh. But,
speaking of Gunther, what's up with this Tommaso Ciampa Alpha Academy thing going on? What's that all about?
I don't know. We could talk about it though. Like I have no idea, man. Like
just an interesting pairing. Like Tommaso Ciampa doesn't really fit the Alpha Academy, and also, I mean, his time on Raw has been so I dare to say mediocre because of booking.
Shout out to one of the wrestle theorists out there who mentioned that we should bring back who's been getting hoed. Tommaso Ciampa is going on my list because man, he has been miscast, bro. Like bad.
Him and Johnny, bro.
Yeah, it is like, bro, what do they not like? Triple H, you made these guys like great in NXT. Like, put them together at least if you're not gonna do anything with them. Like, goodness, because I'm just as confused as you seeing them with the Alpha Cat. Like, I'm like, what? It's crazy how
that whole. Where's Dexter Lumis? Where's Indy Hartwell?
Yeah,
what's going
Dexter.
on?
Where's Indy? Where? My head hurts.
Indy just so good for the women's division too.
Yeah, I know. Like I saw like she came back. I don't know if it was last week before, and it got squashed. And I'm like, come on, like you guys can't hire like enhancement talents, local talent to get squashed. Why are you squashing people that are actually like former world champions and shit like that? Like, how is that building anybody? Like it's just crazy.
It's so crazy too. Like Natalia is a former women's champion, bro. Like she's highlighted the most pay-per-views that any woman ever.
Natalia got all the records.
She's already a Hall of Famer, right? She's a legend. And definitely. They're like, yo, hey, we need Rhea Ripley to squash somebody. Who should we get? Oh, we can just go find some bitch in the stands. Nah, go get Natalia.
For real. And then it's crazy
because everybody to know she's getting older.
If you freaking put Natalia's resume up to any other women resume like on the roster, Natalia is like pretty damn up there like as far as accomplishments and stuff, but it's like they always throw her decorated. Yeah, they always just throw her into the wolves, or not the wolves, just throw her out there. Yeah, go put on a good match. 2 minutes, that's what she got.
Guinness gave her like a bunch of world records too.
Yes, all that.
Literally has been around for so long that she's done almost everything and the most of everything.
Matter of fact, let's give our flowers to Natty real quick, man. Let's throw it up for Natty, man. Natty, you're awesome. You know that. I hope you know that. I know we're just talking about how they do you, but like you are awesome.
You are appreciated. You are appreciated for sure, Natty.
Definitely. And speaking of more returns, as we talked about Nia Jax return with mixed emotions, another mixed emotion is The Rock, the people's champion, the guy who most wrestlers look up to, made his surprise and shocking return after I don't know how long it's been since he's been back. First Pat McAfee was the original surprise where it's like, oh shit, Pat McAfee's back because we just seen you interview The Rock, and then
I didn't even know he left, honestly. I just know he'd be commentating and doing his podcast, so I was really like, oh, Pat McAfee, right?
Love Pat McAfee.
The Rock was a shocker though.
Yeah, with Pat, it's funny because like he got all this stuff going on, so like WWE and him didn't like technically part ways, but they allowed him to basically like just reduce his schedule dramatically and just bring
they like dapped up on
big
we'll
things.
see you when I see you kind of thing.
Yeah, because he got a lot of stuff going on outside of wrestling, but every time he is there, I'm happy to see him. And then The Rock and Theory sharing a moment. Oh man, mixed feelings on that, bro. I'm gonna let you go first. How you feel about it? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
All right, so me personally, y'all already know I'm pissed. Y'all already know I'm angry about it. But what made me feel better about it was going online after SmackDown went off the air and thinking like people were going to be like, haha, Theory, this guy's a clown, this guy's whatever, push Grayson Waller. Instead, I saw they were making photo collages of everything Austin has done so far with him working with Brock, John Cena,
Yep.
Stone Cold, now The Rock, and they were like, people are like, wow, they have a lot of trust for Theory because they're putting him with all these legends now. Oh, Edge as well. Forgot about Edge.
Yep, Edge is in
so
there.
Clearly they see something in him, and even though he's been getting like squashed lately, like they clearly still know that he's the end game. He's still going to be the future. He is going to be a world champion one day. And I like that.
100%, man, 100%. And it's crazy because I was expecting the same thing. I was like, oh man, online's gonna kill Theory because he Rock told him, "Shut up, bitch," or "Shut your bitch ass up," and
have the whole crowd going, "You're a asshole."
Yeah,
asshole.
Because
why did he take his shoe, bro? Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I don't know why.
Okay, so The Rock, old school, was throwing stuff into the crowd, right? So he throws his jacket in this crowd. People are fighting over the jacket, right? After he let Pat McAfee rock bottom Austin Theory, he took Austin's shoe and threw it in the crowd. And I'm saying here, like Austin, like pre-approved this. I give you The Rock, bro, but like this man still got to walk home. Now he got one shoe.
I hope he
have to mug the man.
I hope he beat him up. You already buried him. Hey, at least Austin got a little something in there. He got a couple shots in there, and he got to say, the Rock's catchphrase. He got to be
in the ring with The Rock. That's already a dub on its own right. And he beat John Cena. So actually, I mean, we were going to talk about booking that everybody thinks is going to happen right now with The Rock, but instead, I think Theory and The Rock would be a good match. Now, obviously, I don't see them ever letting Theory win, but if they did, that's how you push and build a young talent. Have him beat The Rock and John Cena, two of the GOATs. He's the future.
That is big. I seriously doubt they will, but that is big. And
no, there's not a chance in hell they let.
Yeah.
Well, crazy that we got him to beat John. There ain't no way he'd losing to The Rock.
For real, man. I was like, shit, man. But how great that would be for Theory if that would happen. But I know like they're not. But one thing I'm surprised about, and I know like Cena kind of got a thing going on with Grayson Waller, but like I'm surprised Waller and The Rock didn't like really like sink their teeth in. Like they've been going back and forth on social media for like a good month and a half now, or maybe two. And I thought they were really that spot that they put Austin, I thought was going to be Grayson, but it's cool to see that they actually gave that to Austin. So I'm not too mad about it. How'd you feel about that? And
that's where I talk about, I think the higher ups, I think they actually do have a lot of faith in Austin. Because I mean, mind you still need somebody to stay there in the ring, stay in character and keep your cool, right? Because Austin, he's our age, he's 26, and so it's like, how do you not lose your shit being 2 feet from The Rock, being a big wrestling fan? So he was able to keep his cool. He sold his moves. He did what he had to. He cut his promo out there. And it was like, hey, who can we trust to do this? They said Austin. Because who's to say Grayson couldn't have kept his cool? Also, Grayson, I feel like has been also slightly underutilized. Not like he's been getting hoed because he's been definitely like on TV. Yeah. But I feel like they've been using him more for the Waller effect than like him as a wrestler.
Yeah, I have noticed that too. And that's what makes this so interesting to me about the whole Rock being back now, because Cena's back too, Rock's back. We know the real reasons, because the writer strike's going on. They can't really do nothing because production people are joining, other actors are joining. So these guys got a lot of time to hand. But the question I have is, all right, so how long are you guys going to be back for? And are you actually going to wrestle? Because like I don't want to see Rock and Cena there just to be on the Grayson Waller effect, or to be on commentating, or to be backstage interviewers, or special referee, or
special guest referee.
Yeah, or hosting this or that. Like I want to see them actually like, are you guys going to throw on the wrestling gear and actually wrestle? Because if not, you're wasting our time and just put over some young.
Raw. I don't know why putting them both on SmackDown was really the best idea. Because like I get that because of who they are, WWE will always welcome them back with open arms. But it's kind of like, hey man, we got stuff going on here without y'all. Y'all just want to pop back in because you're bored, not because you were like, I want to wrestle again, right? Y'all were like, hey, I'm bored. Literally, let me come back. Let me go make a few mil,
make a few mil
matches, make people smile, which they do.
Get my audience back up.
It was reported that SmackDown had over I don't remember how many views, but they were breaking rating records. But then on like Instagram or YouTube or something, it was like over 100,000 views or like 1 million views or some shit like that already off of The Rock on
just
from being on SmackDown. Raised the ratings because he's The Rock.
Exactly right.
But yeah, I guess we'll get into like what his plans are, because obviously The Rock said he was open to WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, and for all of us who were, on actually finishing the story, it should not be The Rock. Don't do it. I swear to God, don't fuck this for us. We've been waiting for this for 3 goddamn years for this build up. If somebody's gonna take the belt, we need it to be somebody who's built up that makes sense. Okay, don't just throw The Rock in there because they're related and say he's the greatest. He's taking it back.
Facts,
Rock,
man.
when you're talking was 20 years ago. You're still that guy. But guess what? It's Roman's time. He shouldn't lose it to you. You shouldn't little brother the Roman Reigns to, because that will just derail everything Roman spent this time building.
Facts. And there's so much rumors going on, like what they're going to do. And, a lot of people feel bad for Cody, including myself. Like, I don't know if you saw the meme that I shared on wrestle-theorist.
Oh, the rubber chicken.
Yeah. Well, no, that's funny. It was, he actually had CM Punk when, he had his body, but it was Rose's head. And it was when he dropped the pipe bomb and he was like, "This isn't sour grapes, but the fact that Dwayne's in the main event WrestleMania not me makes me sick." And it was hilarious because that's what CM Punk said, But now it's like, oh yeah, we can say that with Cody.
CM Punk, yeah,
for real. And it's like, man, because like there's so much debate going on, and I'm on, just like you, bro. We're all over the place with the wrestling communities, and I'm seeing these polls. I'm seeing people saying, like, how do you feel? Like, I have never seen it so split before in my life. But I have seen actually a little more people wanting Rock and Reigns than Cody and Roman. I'm like, do y'all not know this is Cody's job, bro? Finish the story.
Finish the story. I don't. I think that the Roman versus Rock match should happen, but it should be after he loses the belt. Because. Obviously, it's a match that we've been all talking about. The Rock has never met this version of Roman Reigns, right? This tribal chief, this guy, which also, where's Roman been? Because he's been off TV for like a month now.
I heard he's nursing an injury. He heard the match with Jay.
Okay, because I remember hearing about the back.
Yeah, the back injury.
It's just so funny because I'm like, this man's making millions for being on TV, and all he is like on a contact list on Paul's phone.
I know, right? If you love Paul's phone though, like it actually says like bloodline on it.
The bloodline case is so
fire.
That
shit's fire as fuck. I'm like, oh, I want that. But yeah, man, that shit is so crazy.
I don't think that The Rock should be the one taking the belt off Roman. I don't think he should be having that WrestleMania match. If they want to do something cool, at Survivor Series, maybe at Royal Rumble, even because Roman's not going to be in the Rumble anyway. That's a headline main event match.
That is
one.
I would
that as the main event. Make the men's Royal Rumble open. No, actually, it should be Royal Rumble main event last.
Yeah, Royal Rumble, yeah. But I do love that idea.
Just co-main event it.
Like they could have Rock and Roman at Royal Rumble or even Survivor Series. What a better way to make Survivor Series really mean something? Because a lot of people debate whether Survivor Series should even be considered the Big Four. And I know it's messed up because, like, come on, there's some great Survivor Series moments.
Because my least favorite of the Big Four is actually SummerSlam.
Mine too, bro. I honestly don't understand. Like I was like, SummerSlam is great and all. Don't get me wrong, there's been some classic matches there, but I never really looked at SummerSlam as like should be like that big, but I always did look at Survivor Series like
it's because they never put a gimmick behind it. Like it kind of feels like a payback or a
backlash.
Like one of those pay-per-views that don't have anything, no mercy, stuff like that. They don't have like a gimmick to it. Like, because I know every Elimination Chamber, there's gonna be like that's one of my favorite pay-per-views, to be honest with you.
Mine's too.
There's gonna be the Chamber. Royal Rumble is gonna have the Royal Rumble, which is one of the most fun matches to watch every year. I think once a year is great. Survivor Series, I love the Survivor tag matches. I love the storytelling and the matches themselves and the teams they get put together. It's one of my favorite things that happen yearly. So SummerSlam just kind of doesn't have it. It's just SummerSlam. It's just that's it.
I know, right? But there were some great moments.
The biggest party of the summer.
I won't discredit SummerSlam. They brought some great moments, but it's like, man, I just never.
No, I just think they need to add something to it.
Yeah, like maybe make like something annual that's really cool. Like, maybe they could do like a SummerSlam. I don't fucking know. SummerSlam.
They need to create a match gimmick for it and make that SummerSlam.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. I'm thinking about Roman and Rock because the fan of me, yes, I do want to see that match. Do I want to see Rock beat Roman? No. Do I want to see? Well, I mean, if it's for a title, hell no. But if it's not for a title, I wouldn't mind if we knew we can get the Rock back
Yeah, if it was
again.
after Roman lose the belt, yeah, I think Rock could beat him. That's cool.
Now the question
But
is
even
like,
then, I still
what
think
is
Roman should win to keep that credibility.
Yeah, and then it's like, what is WWE gonna do? Because we got Cody, but then it's like, do they want to hold off on Rock? But Rock already said on the Pat McAfee show, "Hey, WrestleMania 40 because of the merger, it's in Philly." And then I'm like, man, why would Rock say that shit? Like, damn, Rock, like, but Rock knows because he's smart, man. Rock knows, bro. That's gonna be box office. People are gonna buy. I just feel so bad for Cody that they may actually make Cody go after the world title, or they may say, yeah, sorry, Cody, we're just gonna have to postpone it just a little bit longer. Because I mean, let's be fair, the story isn't Cody winning at WrestleMania. That would make it great. It's just him winning the W title. But it's like, man, like, what better way?
The whole point of it is like he can't lose it at a payback. He's got to lose it at a big pay-per-view. And it's only either going to be a SummerSlam, a Survivor Series, a Royal Rumble, and a WrestleMania. And the fact that he's held it for 3 years and got through all these WrestleManias, it kind of feels like he has to lose it at a WrestleMania because it's got to be on the grandest stage to win the belt for Cody. Because if he wins the WWE Championship at fucking No Mercy, nobody's going to give a shit. Like, it's cool, but, it's not really that cool.
Or if he wins it, what if they do in reverse? Like, kind of how you said earlier, but what if they do, like, Cody versus Roman at Royal Rumble main event, Cody gets the belt. Then, like, let's even throw in Rock in there. Rock screwed Roman or whatever, saying, "Oh, I need to bring you down a peg because you think you're better than everyone, and the real tribal chief is me. I've been carrying this family and took it to heights it's never seen." Then they could set up Rock and Roman grudge match, whatever.
I feel you, but then that would just if somebody helps Cody, that just like discredits Cody.
It does, doesn't it?
If it's like if somebody comes in to like counter the bloodline, that's one thing, right? If you have somebody come in to stop Solo from interfering, cool, right? But if you have somebody like hit Roman, sneak Roman, low blow Roman, and then Cody gets the win, like, yeah, he's still the champion, but it kind of like it doesn't really feel like he's that babyface superhero we want him to be by having him win the title clean. So, I mean, true. You could go that route, but I feel like the story is too grand to have him lose it anywhere but WrestleMania at this point. And that's why it should have been last year, but they want to keep it going for another year. All right, we'll wait another year, but it better not be The Rock. I swear to God, bro. And they're going to ruin the best thing they have going.
And that's sad because it's like, for wrestling fans, it's Cody. Like, it got to be Cody to keep the story going. Moments, it's Cody. But if you're talking box office, main attraction, The Rock is draw. Yeah, like draw in general, it's gonna be Rock. And it's like, because I don't want to like not cheer for this because like I did want this originally, but then it's like when Cody left AEW, people got even more behind that, and I'm behind Cody 100%. But it's like, it sucks that they're gonna either give him the title before Mania or even after Mania, but it's clear as day almost they're not going to give Cody the match with Roman if Rock is 100% all in for no pun intended, but all in for Mania.
I'm gonna get heat for this one, but I mean, selfish. It's kind of selfish of The Rock because you have these guys who come in weekly, monthly, working, right? And Rock used to be that guy, but that was almost 20 years ago that he was wrestling like that. And so you got these guys who've been busting their ass for the past 20 years. Cody definitely for the past 15.
Yeah,
and it's his time. And instead of it being his time, it's The Rock's time because literally the writer's strike, he's bored and he wants to come back. I'm not hating The Rock.
He needs money. He needs the money to keep stuff going. I heard Universal.
He don't need the money, bro. He is he's the highest box office actor of all time. He don't need the money.
You got to think about it, bro. Yeah, he didn't know. I'm not saying like he's broke or anything, but he needs the money as far as like, because Universal dropped his project. They also not doing Black Adam 2. He's under scrutiny with freaking Oprah because of the Maui donation stuff. Like, this is all just really just good PR right now. Rock can get his audience back, coming to wrestling, and then get in everyone's good grace. Because right now, I mean, a lot of his projects got canceled. I mean, he had to go back to doing Fast and Furious. Well, he didn't really have to, but that helped a little bit. But a lot of his stuff that he had going on with $7 production and shit, all now are canceled because of this writer strike and this other shit. Young Rock got canceled even too. Like it's crazy. So it's like this is like in a way, like I said, it is selfish of The Rock, but also I kind of understand why he's doing it because longevity. Now he's gonna get his audience back. He's gonna
but even if he want to come
like,
back, there's other things he could do.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like just as far as like good PR for him, like he's getting his audience back, which is the core wrestling fans. Then if he does do the stuff with Roman, which I'm pretty sure he will, that's gonna be box office. Probably gonna break John Cena and his record that they set all those years ago. And then on top of that, now after he puts Roman over, or let's say they carry it out for a little, which who knows, he can go back into the movie realm and really just start blossoming even more because now he got even more support behind him. So it's interesting to see. And also he got the XFL too. So, he's part owner of that. So we'll see how his time is going to be used because they should be starting up pretty soon. Yeah, I love the XFL, man. I love it.
Yeah, well, tell you what, have him go to Raw and beat up Seth. Take the world heavyweight champion off Seth, because we feel like Seth's title reign is like on thin ice right now anyway, because they clearly want him to lose it. They have the weirdest rivalry going on right now where Seth's like, hey, you want a title shot? And Shinsuke's just like, no. And
they do,
bro,
but
the way they cut his shin while he's in the middle of beating up Ricochet, and he's like, oh, like he was in the middle of beating his ass, like, oh, sorry, like get the cameraman off me. I didn't mean you to can't see this.
I love it. I love the shin. Only thing I'm gonna say, because like we said, let Rock take it off Seth. I wouldn't mind it, but I mean, we've had our fair share of run-ins with some CM Punk stands. We'll just put it out there. Seth fans? Oh my gosh, bro. If The Rock took the title from Seth,
I'm a Seth fan,
bro. The Seth fans will go crazy, bro. Well, of course, we both are, but like, I'm mean, like those stands online, like the ones that will just comment shit all the time. Like, I feel like none is worse than probably Sasha Banks fans, but like Seth is up there. If this Rock screws Seth, oh man, they would never let it live down. And it sucks too, because then people bring up, man, Seth's always getting screwed by somebody. They'll bring the Fiend up and stuff, and then they'll bring up, the ACL injury. They'll bring this up. Oh man,
it was crazy. One dude turned me into a Roman Mark jokingly, like he was trolling me and turned me into a Roman Mark for a couple minutes because he was saying some bullshit like Elias should take the title off of Roman Reigns. Elias, that'd be the dumbest motherfucker I ever met in my life. I was like, you really think they're gonna ruin a beautiful story? Or no, I think he said Damien should cash in on Roman, and I was like, that's also stupid.
Yeah,
you're gonna ruin the best story ever by having to cash in, and stuff like that.
Could you imagine?
Because he just kept saying dumb shit, and I realized he was trolling.
Yeah, them trolls, man. But could you just even imagine if that would happen though? The wrestling community would go insane. Like, let's say they actually give us like Cody versus Roman, and just when it looks like Cody's about to win, fucking Damian Priest's music hits, or let's say if they do Rock and Roman and they're all they're just down for whatever, Rock to the rock bottom, and then Damian's music hit, and he got that briefcase, bro. Wrestling community.
If Damian cashed in during Cody versus Roman for the title and won the belt, that would be the biggest robbery since Seth's cash in.
Honestly,
Seth's cash in was like the best cash in of all time. And if Damian did it to dethrone Roman Reigns, that's nuts, bro.
Oh,
they got the manpower to do it. They can take down the bloodline. They got the manpower.
They do. That's something that's interesting. But it's funny you mentioned you brought up Elias, because we big week of wrestling, a lot of stuff happened. Of course, the merger. And with the merger, though, they did eliminate a lot of jobs as far as like employees, and we didn't expect much of the talent to get released. But with the reports that Elias is now no longer with the company as well, so Elias is gone, and there was someone else. The name is escaping me that they let go. That's been with the company for a while. But how do you feel about this merger with now with Endeavor now under TKO? How do you feel this will affect the casual fan or the diehard fan, or just in general? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I honestly don't really know how it's gonna go. I did make the joke about for CM Punk. It's definitely not good for CM Punk because UFC doesn't like him already. So he's not going to WWE.
There was as far as he did tease something. I did see that he said because he commentates for this MMA promotion, Fox. Which apparently no, it's some type of promotion. I forget their name, but they're owned by Endeavor, well, UFC and stuff. They're like the minor league or whatever. And he was saying to like the commentator, well, I got about 2 months left. I mean, or 2 months to do this, and then I'm out or something like that. And a lot of people were like saying, wait, 2 months. And then they were like trying to piece together, like, holy shit, 2 months is the Royal Rumble, or 2 months is the whatever. So
yeah, but they do that for everybody. Like, you do anything, like Edge is like, oh, hey, I'm gonna retire. Then they start counting down the math on the no contact clause to be like, in September, right? All in, Edge is coming. Oh, so and so is doing this. Yeah, they do that all the time. So that's
well, the Edge one as far as the merger goes. I was gonna say the Edge one was dumb because Edge said it plenty of times, like, you know, he's done as far as contract obligations, as far as that was the last match of SmackDown, but then he had until September something until his contract with WWE is officially up. But with Punk, which makes it interesting, since he was fired with clause, you know, most of the time that's around 2-3 months where you can't do nothing. So we'll see. I mean, I don't want to see it back, to be honest. I don't think they need him, but they didn't even need The Rock. I mean, they're throwing off so many great storylines. It's like, what the hell? It's just that true. But back to the merger, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not really sure how the regime change is gonna work. I mean, obviously, I think they're gonna look at things from a business aspect first because they're taking over, and now that could have an effect on creative, because that's the thing. Unfortunately, us diehard fans are so diehard, we're gonna watch regardless of if it's gold or shit. And it's kind of like a fuck you to us, but they're going to do what sells tickets. And you know who sells the tickets? The Rock, John Cena, the legends. So they're not going to put over the guys we want because of these other guys. And that's where we were talking about before. You got to let the young guys breathe. You got to let them perform. You got to let them be the new champions and the new faces of the company. Because guess what? Eventually, they're not going to be able to have these matches anymore. And I'm tired of wasting pay-per-view slots on fucking matches where the guys are so old that like it's like a 2-3 minute match, and it's like you're making this young prime fit guy sit here and take bumps for somebody who's barely lifting him in the air, and they're like, oh my god, like for the nostalgia. And it's like, I love the nostalgia, but we can't just fight for it and chase for it like that, because then it's just gonna be so tacky, and it's like, what are we doing? You know,
it's funny you mentioned that.
So I see creative going that way, but I also hear Triple H right now is still the head of creative.
Yep.
So I think that will be, as long as Triple H is there, we should be okay. But technically, this is the first time in a long time where the McMahon era of WWE is now officially over, which is kind of crazy to see. It's also a little sad too, because as much as we love to hate on the McMahons, they have carried wrestling for ever. I mean, they made WWE what it was.
Over 70 years, I think they said. That since the McMahon family has run it all the way back to the WWF, which is so funny saying that. Like, it doesn't even roll off the tongue, like the WWF to all the way to WWE now. And yeah, it's crazy. You know, I think about some of my best childhood memories come from wrestling. So it's like, you know, under the McMahon family. So it's like seeing them now. But I don't think much will change. I think we'll probably get more crossover now, I think, because there's a lot of people that are wrestling fans that are also big UFC fans. So we already had some, like we've seen Daniel Cormier that one time for the Fight Pit, Ronda Rousey, of course, Shayna Baszler,
and they
Matt
did,
Riddle.
AEW had Top Team, which were UFC guys.
Yep, and even AEW, I think, even had the Top Team at one point, you know, with Dan Lambert and all these guys. So it's gonna happen. It's just like, you know, hopefully fans will be accept that more, you know, because we already seen crossover already. We've seen some WWE guys and AEW people go to UFC events that are in the crowd or whatever. So we'll probably get more of that. But I don't think, as long as Triple H is in charge, and now there is some rumors that Endeavor wants McMahon to be a little more involved. So that's going to be like, because we know how he could be. But we'll see where that goes.
Well, I also hear, though, that McMahon is just had surgery, too. So I also hear that
his spine,
is trying to get healthy right now.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's up in the air, but it has been for the past, like, 2-3 years about what's going on, especially since Vince originally stepped down. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I mean, things have been good so far. So let's keep it going. I mean, I have faith that it'll still be good. The moment I hear that, and also, mind you, Vince is in charge, at least Austin's winning, you know. So Austin will beat The Rock, you know.
Yeah, when Vince McMahon takes over head of creative, we're definitely getting Rock in theory at Mania. You want Roman too damn bad. Theory's getting pushed. No, we stop.
And then he's gonna be like, "Yo, who's this Gunther bum? Omos, take the title off him."
What was this guy Gunther? Yeah, Omos, take the title off him, man. Get that guy Gunther in some dancing gear real soon. We're gonna turn to next Vladimir Kozlov for Tyrus. He got backup dancers already. Yeah, put a do-rag on. He got backup dancers already. What's that guy? Ludwig Kaiser? You could be his DJ. Vince. We make fun of Vince, but we
put that ball guy in a basketball jersey.
For real. Put that ball guy in a basketball jersey.
Yeah, I can just imagine how wild the storylines would be, bro.
For real. That's why I'm like, oh man, I hope the Endeavor really doesn't want Vince to get more hands-on with creative. Because he made some great stuff, man. But he's also yeah, it's like we're joking because we can see this happening. What you gonna say?
I was about to say, hey, who's this Kyrie saying? Put her in a pirate outfit. She's already wearing one. Oh, all right.
All right. Yeah, we'll let that slide. What's that girl Rhea doing? The Judgment Day. Nah, I think I need a better faction than that. Let's call them McMahon Day. We'll have them. Yeah, let's call them. We'll break them up, and I'll take Dominic. Yeah. Oh man! All right, we're having too much fun with this, guys. Man, that's why we love our wrestle theorists because they love to join in on the fun.
To our match of the week, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. So, match of the week, we got some real good ones here. Devin Uso, you got me hyped up about it. So, who is your pick?
All right, so my match of the week was actually a year ago at Revolution Pro. It is Michael Oku versus Will Ospreay.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've ever seen that match. If you want, I could send it to you. There's a 6-minute highlight I found on YouTube of it. And it is like, it's a match I like to show people who don't watch wrestling just to show them how cool like a match is. And like, if I was going off of like Dave Meltzer's like 5-star like wrestling, I don't know if this match actually got that like rating, but if it did, like that would be the match that got it because it had action, it had blood, it had so much storytelling in that match
and hard hitting too. Like, man, Will Ospreay, bro, like when he throws that elbow to the back of the people's like head and neck,
man, bringing it down, boy. We'll bring that bad boy
I know,
down.
Man. Like he's chopping freaking wood or something, man. And bro, Will Ospreay, man, that's another one. Let's throw it up for Will Ospreay. I don't think we talk about him enough on the podcast. That dude is
honestly
undoubtedly like one of the best in the world currently. Like,
he's only 30.
Yeah, I know, right? He's like crazy. And like, he's gotten praises from higher ups in WWE, like Bruce Pritchard, Paul Heyman, Triple H, like a lot of people. WWE been wanting to get this guy since at least 2016, and I think eventually, hopefully one day he will, but I know he doesn't want to move to the US. That's what's been keeping him away from WWE mostly. I mean,
I don't even think it's that. He openly said that he doesn't want to work with WWE only because of their scheduling. Because I mean, we've heard from other superstars on podcasts like how gruesome their schedule is and how hard it is for them to live their normal lives while being on the road full time. Because like you know, I can imagine. I mean, shoot, I was moving around for the military, so I get that stuff.
Yeah.
But, so he likes that when he wrestles overseas with New Japan and all these other companies that they give him, it's like they have an off season like football, you know?
Yeah.
So he'll wrestle for 6-7 months out of the year, but then he gets to spend those remaining like 4 or 5 months like at home chilling with his family because he's a very family oriented guy, believe it or not, if you didn't know.
And that's what makes it interesting too, because his wife is doing really well in NXT. So it's like, well, not wife, I'm sorry, they're together, but eventually I think they're fiance. But like
his wife, I was gonna say he has a wife in NXT. Who is that?
Oh, Blair Davenport. They're together.
Oh, that's his girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend or fiance. Yeah, so that's what makes it like interesting because she's out there because you know she's really well rounded. She's before even that she was in AEW for a little bit as Bea Priestley back in the day, but now she's over in NXT. So it's like, if she continues to rise up and WWE's been wanting him forever, maybe he might. I don't know. I know he said before with Chris Van Vliet.
Bro, imagine how like stupid the creative's going to be to try to drag him to WWE. Hey, let's do a bring your spouse to work day. Blair, you bringing your husband?
Like, hey, you never know.
WWE?
You never know, man. They might. WWE loves to keep the couples kind of together too. So
somebody's going to be like, hey, I brought my husband. We don't care. Will.
But that's a great match.
All right,
Pick
so
though
what you
back
got
to
for match of the week? My bad.
no, you're good, bro. Because we went into Will Ospreay, but that's a great pick. My pick is actually going to be. We talked a little bit about him earlier. It's going to be a Shinsuke Nakamura match against Kato, or I'm sorry, Ibushi, Kato Ibushi, Wrestle Kingdom. Great.
Oh, Kota Ibushi. Oh, that's my dog,
Bro, I love their match, man. Hard hitting. The storytelling was amazing. To me, this was one of like, a lot of people love to talk about Nakamura AJ, which was a great match in Japan. But this one to me is just right there too. Like it's up there, bro. Nakamura was bringing it. Ibushi, bro. He just the things he was able to do is just unreal. Like this dude could bring out a bust out a moonsault like any position. Like he's so quick, technical,
yeah, man,
great freaking match.
Flat on the floor and somehow jump into 3 flips and then land back on his feet.
For real, like what the hell? Like he surprised me every time I see him wrestle, man. And like they were really like laying it in, man. Like I thought there was a couple times in that match, like I was like, damn, do these guys got beef or something? But then of course, with Japan, that's strong style, man. You just they were laying it in. I mean, taking
that strong style, yeah.
He's taking like Bucci was hitting him with his like freaking forearm, man, and then Shin was kicking the shit out. Like it was just a great match, man. Great match. That's the Shin that I wish that WWE could have gotten.
Strong style, baby.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the Shin that I wish WWE could have gotten when they signed him when he wrestled or when he wrestled AJ at WrestleMania. I was hoping that was the Nakamura we was gonna get, but either way, I love what they're doing with him now. I hope they continue that. And yeah, that's my pick for match of the week, brother. No, that's pretty good.
That's a good pick.
That's pretty good episode, and I really enjoyed it. Stay tuned for all our wrestle theorists. Actually, Devin, you wanted to talk about a poll that you wanted to bring up?
Yep. All right. So we're gonna be starting what'd you call it? A mailbox? We're gonna be starting a mailbox.
Mailbox
for our fans. Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna be starting that for our fans with a Q&A. So in the description down below and on our channel will be our Wrestle Theories email address. Feel free to email any questions you have that you want to hear. If you want opinions from me or Alvin, any questions about us, about wrestling, our opinions on it. It could even be about other stuff if you want to ask.
Yep.
But we'd like to keep it wrestling related if possible. But if there's something you really got to know, we'll hear you out. Then we'll address those questions.
If it's not wrestling related, at least let it be fantasy football related. Devin Uso is the hookup, man. He's helped up my lineup already. If it's not wrestling related.
It's crazy too because I feel like I'm ahead of my league. I realized they're all really slow because I made a trade. I traded somebody Tyreek Hill, and I was like, "Damn, what a dumbass!" But like, I just got Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs out of it.
Ooh. So we're gonna see who's the dumbass now. But all our wrestle theorists, thank you for joining again. Amazing episode for episode 10. Continue to like, share, comment. Definitely let all the wrestling fans know, the millions and billions of friends and family that you got about Wrestle Theory. We're truly excited and we love all of our wrestle theorists. We'll make sure we read and reply to as many comments as we can. Devin Uso, anything else you want to add?
Y'all boys be smooth now.
Later, all our wrestle theorists.